Hey, hey, welcome back to the Intuitive Empire. Today, we are talking about my favorite stuff to talk about. That's right, purpose, embodiment, your big why, how to get out of your own way, fear and doubt, and how to step into leadership. Seriously, my favorite stuff. And guess what? I'm also going to be sharing with you how we can work together if you so desire. Oh yeah, welcome to the Intuitive Empire. I'm your host, Jaya Rose, and we can finally get started because you are here. And if you are ready to energetically align with your desires, own your innate magic, and step powerfully into your spiritual leadership, well, love, you're in the right place. Let's do the damn thing already. All right, welcome to the Intuitive Empire. Like I mentioned, we are going to be talking about all things embodiment, leadership, purpose, big why, fear, doubt, how to get out of your own way, and really show up big for your mission. Like I said, it's my favorite stuff, and I'm going to be sharing with you all about my Embody program. I'm wondering if you've seen me talk about it. I just opened the doors. Well, I opened the doors a couple weeks ago, but I've just really officially, I swung the doors open, and we start in 3 weeks on September 15th. So I want to give you the opportunity to have full understanding of what it is, why it is that way, and how it may or may not serve you. That is my intention with this podcast. I also intend to give you some juicy bits of wisdom, inspiration, and knowledge around purpose and leadership, because this is really what Embody is about. So when I first created the Embody program, I was actually coming out of my own very special dark night of the soul. You've maybe heard me talk about this a couple times on the podcast. I had, for about a year, been really asking big questions and not deeply knowing what my purpose was, but knowing that I was open to discovering it and living it. This is the thing. I fully committed to living my soul purpose before I fully knew what it was. And I think this is a beautiful lesson, because what happens when you do this is everything unfolds in such an organic way that you don't question it. Like, how many times have you found yourself questioning, should I do this? Should I do that? Is this right? Is this wrong? What does it all mean? How is it all going to happen? It's really very human for us to do that. But what happens when you actually commit and devote yourself to your soul purpose, even if you don't know exactly what it is yet, is that everything comes to you to support you in that clarity. And maybe you're experiencing that. Maybe you're in the clarifying phase right now, or maybe you are deeply committed but still waiting, or maybe you have discovered your purpose and you just are not making all the moves yet. Now, this is the thing. Purpose loves moves. Purpose loves commitment. Purpose is your why. I mean, it's so simple. It really is so simple, but it's not taught in school. It's not taught by most of our parents. And it really is up to us to be these pioneers of possibility, that it really is possible now to build a beautiful business, an intuitive empire, if you will, around that purpose and around that soul purpose. Like the idea that your soul came here to do something specific, that it is just what it is, and that you have influence and you have choice, and yet you don't have choice over what that destiny is. You have choice whether or not you say yes. You have choice whether or not you allow it to be easy, whether you allow yourself to be guided, whether you allow yourself to be powerful and in co-creation. You have choice. But the soul purpose is within you, whether or not you recognize it or not. And I feel that I am here to help ignite this in sensitive women, empathic women, women who are here on a mission to help people, and a few men. Because we are the ones who, when we're in alignment with our purpose, when we're in alignment and understanding our big reason behind what we're doing and the thing that catapults us forward, we are able to get out of our own way. Because a funny thing happens when you're empathic and you're sensitive, you get to feel everything. You feel everything, including other people and their resistance and their triggers and their junk. And if your why and purpose isn't big enough, that stuff will get in the way. You don't know how many women I talk to that tell me they have this mission, they feel called, they hear the intuition, and they're ready to do it, but they're worried about what X or who X, Y, and Z are and what they're thinking about them. And there's all these reasons why not to do it. My intention right here, right now, is to give you every reason in the motherfucking book as to why not only you should do it, but that you are meant for this, and that whether or not you choose it, it's already choosing you. And this is how passionate I feel, because when I was in this dark night of the soul, I was asking these big questions around, what am I meant to be known for? Who am I meant to serve? How am I playing at my highest level? How do I show up in this service? And Embody came through. It came through kind of like a whisper, but more like a knock. And it started saying to me, Jaya, you need to teach lifestyle. You need to bring lifestyle back, because I was a personal trainer for 12 years. That was the only other career I've ever had. I also was a life coach, which basically just made me a cool ass personal trainer. But what I really wanted to do was help people with the inner game. But I wasn't confident enough yet. I didn't listen to the call. I played small, and I stayed in the same cycle over and over again, because I did not know another way. I just simply did not know what I did not know. And in that, I came to a place where I knew I needed to play bigger, but what happened was I let go of all the fitness. I thought, well, I'm not supposed to do fitness. I'm supposed to do coaching. And when I went into visibility coaching, it was really cool because it was relevant. Live video had just came out and it was awesome. I built a 6-figure business in 10 months, totally blew my cap, my glass ceiling out. Like I blew up the glass ceiling, going from making $30,000 a year every single year for 12 years to making $150,000 in just 10 months. And it was major for me. But when I let go of all of that in order to step fully into the soul alignment, that's when the real magic came. And the integration came, and the message came that it was lifestyle. That while I'm not meant to be a personal trainer, you will not catch me, counting backwards from 10, giving you a workout. I just don't feel like it. Okay. But what I did realize is that I have so much in this area of healthy living around mindset and body love and creating habits, creating really sustainable, beautiful habits that nourish you. And on my own journey of going through the dark night of the soul, what I realized is that the type of leadership I was asking for required a new level of sacred self-care. And I had never experienced this level before. And I knew that if I had never experienced it, being so in my body and taking such good care of myself, that there are a lot of women out there who are walking this walk of living in their gifts and not fully understanding the power of really taking care of your body beyond the mind and the spirit. I feel like it's really normal to hear about mindset and I need to stretch my mindset, and people start there. But the reality is we need embodiment. Embodiment makes it real, makes it tangible, makes it practicable. And we need the spiritual connection beyond that as well. And so this is what came to me, is the Embody Method. And the Embody Method is 8 phases that you go through that correlate with the chakras. They correlate with the 7 chakras. And then there's a bonus module that's around sharing the gifts and your soul story. And it's so freaking amazing because what came through is this framework. And at the time it was 7 phases. And what I didn't realize is that it aligned with the chakras perfectly until I actually was listening to a podcast and it was about chakras. And I was like, what? Wait, what? I think that method I just came up with. Now, I hadn't put anybody through it besides myself. I hadn't put it out yet. I hadn't sold anything. I was just still in creation phase around what this program was going to be. And then the chakras showed up. And I didn't even know the chakras. I hadn't practiced them. I'm not a Reiki master, not like Jen, who Jen is the Zen mother in the Embody program. If you join us in Embody, you'll meet her. She is the chakra expert. She is a Reiki master and a healer and a conscious coach and amazing. And so what I did is I called her and I said, girlfriend, I think something has happened in here with Embody. What I didn't realize is that Embody has a soul of its own. And Embody has an agenda and a purpose and a meaning and a why, all of its own. And that I, by the grace of God, have been gifted the ability to co-create with Embody and carry it forward, carry this message forward. It truly is magnificent. And so Jen got on multiple calls with me and helped me integrate the chakras into the Embody Method. And it was so fun and so amazing. And what happened is that it was aligned AF, like it was already done. It blew my mind. And I had been wanting to learn about the chakras for years. I had even bought some rainbow color stones, and I couldn't remember which order they went in. Dude, they go in the order of the rainbow. And like, I didn't even know. It was crazy. I was like, I'm going to do chakra healing. I had no idea what I was doing. This was about a year and a half before this came through. And so my first reaction was kind of like, oh, I was like, this is cool, but I don't even know anything about the chakras. How am I supposed to teach this? What? But Jen was there, and Jen had already committed to being the Zen mother. So she supports us in the Facebook group, and she also gets on the coaching calls and shares her magic, which is tarot and conscious coaching. And she supports you at the same time. So like, I coach laser coaching, and then she comes in and reads your cards, and it's so magical. And so she was already in the program, and it was so amazing because she so generously gave me all of the information she had on chakras to where I knew them. It was like the craziest thing. It integrated in me like a download. And I taught the chakras in conjunction with the phase of Embody. So I'll tell you the 8 phases, but the phase of Embody. And then I also teach the universal laws that are in connection and really support this phase. And then the phase of Embody. And then we actually do movement and integrative work around these 3 things. That's really what the core of the lesson in Embody is about. Now, it's so amazing because you're able to have this deep shift because, one, you're dealing with the physical world. So it's not just about mindset, not just about spirituality, but it actually integrates into your being. And that's what we need to have these deeper transformations. So the core of the program are these 8 phases that I'm talking about, and they run in conjunction with the chakras. So we start at the root chakra. And the root chakra is all about your purpose. So if you are unclear what your purpose is, it could possibly be that you don't feel safe. And this is all about the safety of your purpose. So the mantra that we correlate here is, I am safe in my purpose. And we just say that. We say that. I put my hand over that lower chakra, right? This is like right above the sex organs, or right, you'd place your hand there. And the module, or the phase that we go through when we study this, is called sacred self-care. And sacred self-care is what we need to come back to every time we want to up level, every time we're stretching our capacity to receive, every time we're stepping into a new version of ourself. we come back to sacred self-care. And sometimes this might be the only answer. No other answers will come because it is about the nourishment. It's about declaring that next level through self-love, through self-understanding. And this is the gateway to the next phase, which correlates with your second chakra, your sacral chakra. And this chakra says, I am a creative. I am intuitive. And this is where that intuition lives. And we do something called intuition activation. And this is so amazing because I find that while there are so many spiritual women in this, people are raising their consciousness, we are in a spiritual awakening. And the intuition is where we need to start. But consciousness lives in the top chakra, the crown chakra, which we'll discuss. That's really far away from this sacral chakra. And people are missing this. It's like we have all of these issues around integrating our masculine and our feminine and fully listening and fully trusting and surrendering to the intuition and really to the feminine, because the masculine wants to take over. And this is that lesson. This is the lesson in full integration between your masculine and feminine. It will change everything for you. And then we're able to move up to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus says, I am powerful. Now, this is where a lot of people live, especially entrepreneurs. This is also where ego lives, and ego says, I am powerful. I am more powerful than you. I am better than you. And this is where we get to work with the true magic of who you are, because the true magic of who you are, which we call your innate magic, is what was gifted to you through divine, which is your connection to your soul. And when you identify and come into alignment with this innate magic, you will change everything about your life. Because when you start honoring your innate magic, you are honoring your soul path, and the path becomes illuminated in front of you. And you don't have to ask those questions of like, is this right for me? Should I do this? Is it right or wrong? What will happen? How will it happen? Because we have a co-creation process happening between these lower chakras, and you're feeling safe in your purpose, and you're feeling guided by your intuition, and you are nurturing yourself to say, I am powerful, more powerful than I've ever allowed myself to be, more powerful than I've ever felt safe to be. And it's in this phase that you get cracked open to be this woman that you have always been, but this really radiant, magnificent, powerful version of you that comes through the sacral and up into the solar plexus. And now you're shining, right? This is like we say, ooh, you're shining your light. And it's so powerful. So we do an exercise called innate magic, and we name you. And so once you get it's just like indoctrinated almost. Like you get your name, and you can't unknow. You can't unknow that when that name is called, when you feel as though you're being called, that you must answer, because you are the only one. Because you are the only one. There is no other name that will match yours. There is no other you out there. Nobody matches the innate magic you have. And it is so powerful to own that. And then we move up into the heart chakra, which says, I am love. You are love. You have a highest self version of you. And when you identify this highest self version of you, then you emerge in more power, like we talked about, but also in more love, because love is what we're being asked to come back to. Love is the space in which we are being asked to live from and really create our lives out of this place. And I know that when you think about your highest self, you think about love. You think about something bigger than you. And this is really what our heart is able to do for us. So we go through a process called your highest self archetype. And we really anchor in these ideas of who our highest self is and how to embody it and how to declare it now. And then we move into the throat chakra. We actually spend 2 weeks at the throat chakra because holy moly, we got a lot to unlock in the throat chakra. We go over your needs and your requirements. When's the last time you asked yourself, what do I require? This dream, this vision, this desire, what does it require? I don't know. What does it require? Because you, my dear, need to declare that. You need to own that. And when you learn this process of identifying what your needs and requirements are, everything will shift. Your relationships will enhance. You will feel more fulfilled. You'll be able to meet your own needs. Suddenly, things become more clear. You are rocking and rolling in your business. You're able to really ask the universe for more of what you desire and see clearly why, because we also go over your desires. There's a whole week of desires, which feels so good, because when you actually get into desires from this really grounded, rooted, whole, integrated, embodied space, those desires come to you. They come to you because you are co-creating with the universe and you are clear. You're clear. And everything that you desire is already here. It's already desiring you. It exists. That's how you know it's true. That's how you see it. You see it in your mind's eye because it's already existing. And now you actually have the ability to receive it. It's so good. It's so good. And then we move up to the third eye. The third eye says, I am a visionary. Of course, this is where your vision lives. Your vision lives here. And what happens with so many creative women is that we confuse our creativity with our vision. And we say, well, my vision says this is where I'm headed. My vision is leading the way, but it's not. Your vision is not leading the way because your intuition is leading the way, because your intuition and your creativity are one and the same. They live in the same place. They come from the same place, and they need to be the source. They are the source of creative power, and your vision is merely the guiding light. The guiding light. Because what happens when we put too much pressure, so many people put way too much pressure on their vision, and they say, oh, this needs to happen. How is it going to happen? And then we're not in co-creation and we're not trusting. Have you ever had this happen? You're like, oh, I have this idea, but then it just comes out of you and then it falls flat. Well, that's because you need to work on these lower chakras. That's all. And so this gives you the ability to have an idea, to see the vision, to establish whether or not it's in alignment with your intuition. Like, are you listening to your intuition? Is it ego or intuition? And then move it forward into the world. This is the recipe for moving your big vision and your mission into the world so eloquently, like just beautifully, because you already know it's done, because it's yours, because it's been gifted to you and you get to see it as such. And then we move up to the crown chakra. And the crown chakra says, I am one with the one. This is infinite intelligence. This is the ability to connect to something bigger than us, to know deep within that we are always being guided and supported, yes, by our guidance system, but that we are tapped in and tuned into something so much bigger than us. And that is the universe. That is spirit, source energy. And when we have a practice around this and we fully tap into this from a space of being rooted all the way down to that root chakra that says, I am safe in my purpose. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that feels like and what happens? You get to actually live your purpose in the world. And then we move on to the 8th phase, which is your soul story. And your soul story is the common thread that's been running through your whole life, that created the lessons that you learned, that you moved through, that you mastered in order to have the message and the guiding light that you have now, that you have a burning desire to share, because you know you're meant to help people, because you know that if you've gone through what you've gone through and been able to survive it, and that you've found value in it, that you can teach other people to do the same. And when you have that, it is so important to share it. So I teach you how to identify what your soul story is, what the original story is, where your soul collided with you as a human in this lifetime. And for some people, and for most people, honestly, it was a bit of a hard time. For some people, it might even be some trauma that happened. But what happens is we lock that in, and it's already in our DNA because it was our soul's path to have that experience. And then we play it out over and over again in our life until we become conscious and aware of the pattern, and then we get to choose. And this is what I teach you. It's the ultimate in empowerment, because when you can see what's happening for you in real time and say, this is a part of the story, I get to choose again. How do I choose for this story to move out into the world? What do I choose to be true around this? It's so healing. And when you heal yourself and you're able to share these stories, you heal everyone else too, who has a similar issue or a similar story to you. And this is really the main method that I feel we all need to integrate and embody to have a powerful business that is led by intuition, that is in alignment with your soul purpose, that is co-creating with the larger powers that be. And then we are sharing this, we are sharing it, and it becomes magic. It's like pure magic. You can't tell, did I even think that? Well, that just showed up in my life. What? Now these things are unfolding and I didn't even know I asked for them, because you're so tapped in. You're so tapped in and you're living at your infinite potential. You're living in the highest version of yourself. And that means you're able to serve. You're able to serve at that highest level. And it feels so good. And it's what you came here to do. Can you imagine how excited I am to share this work? I literally feel like I'm a light beam right now. You should see me. I have my hands on my heart, both hands. My eyes are closed. My eyes have been closed the entire time I've been talking to you. I have tears welling up behind my closed eyelids just because of the force that I feel coming out of me sharing this with you right now. I literally feel like I'm a beam of light, because this is the purpose that I was gifted. And now I have the ability to gift you with the clarity around your purpose. And you have the ability then to gift that to others, and to gift a lifestyle that is resonant for you, that feels good and juicy. And just imagine a world where we were all embracing these parts of ourselves and all whole and energetically aligned and really in mastery around who we are and what we're here to do. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that is the content of Embody. Now here's, I call it the Holy Trinity, the 3 C's Holy Trinity. So we have content, we have coaching, which I didn't even tell you about yet. But I'm a pretty good coach, okay? My thing is really to coach. Like my favorite thing I do ever is to coach, because my actual superpower is to meet you exactly where you are. I wonder if you can feel that. Can you feel that I'm meeting you where you are in some way? That I might be talking just to you right now. Maybe it's just me and you in a room. That is because it is designed that way. I was designed this way. This is my magic. This is my superpower. And so when you are on a coaching call every week for 12 weeks with me and the other women who are in Embody and Jen Kohler, who is a Zen mother, you have a safe place to open up, to transform, to surrender, and to fully step into that next level version of yourself. Because I will hold that space for you, and I will see that for you, and I will guide you. And Jen will hold that space for you, and the other women will hold that space for you. And there will be no option but to actually elevate, to really move forward. These calls are so special. I've been told it's one of the best parts of the program. There are women who got on every call. So there's usually 2 or 3 calls a week, and you pick your time and you get on the call once a week for coaching. But if you want to come to those other calls and listen, I guarantee you walk away transformed and with so many golden nuggets, because we're all one. We're all one. We are all the same. And we are all going through similar things. And I create the environment, and I get on a call with every single woman who enrolls. And so you trust, this is what I have to say, trust that it will be a safe and very, there's a word I'm looking for and it's not coming to me for some reason, cultivated. That's it. It's a very cultivated space because my integrity and the alignment with the soul of Embody and what Embody is here to do, that is the only way. That is the only way to be. The other C is community. And the community is so beautiful. Jen Kohler runs the community with us, and she posts accountability. So if you're someone who needs some extra accountability, you will have that. If you need encouragement, you have that. If you have questions, they will be answered. You can connect with the other women in the program. And also, one thing we're going to do every week this time around is do something called a soul share. And so relevant to the content, right? The content I just talked about, those 8 phases, we're going to be also sharing. So if you want to do a video, if you want to do a post, Instagram stories, however you like to share, you are going to have the opportunity to have a prompt every week for a soul share to go ahead and share what you're learning and what you're embodying, because it's so powerful to do that. So, oh my gosh, that was so juicy. I just want to know, like, I want you to be like, amen, sister. You take a screenshot, send me an Instagram message, and let me know that you listened to this. Don't leave me hanging, sister, because I'm showing up for you. And I want to know. I want to know if this resonated with you. I want to know, do you want to get on a call with me where I will chat with you about where you are, what your why is, why it's important for you to be here right now in this time, doing the work that you are here to do. And we will see if it is the appropriate next aligned step for you. If this sounds good to you, all you need to do is fill out the application below. It'll take you about 5-8 minutes to fill out the application. And we will get back to you and get you booked in. We start in 3 weeks. So this is the time. This round of Embody is incredibly magical. I feel it, and I feel your energy. If I feel you lighting up, I can feel that you're saying yes. And that is that intuition. That's the intuition that has led you here, that has led you to listen all the way to this point, that is probably screaming at you right now. I just want you to know there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. And as soon as you say yes and you get into Embody, you will see that, because we're going to work through that right away with that root chakra and develop some safety and security around your purpose and around what you're meant to do. And you don't need to fear it. You don't need to fear it. Your calling is not scary. It's only scary to ignore it. That's what's scary. To have a bunch of people who feel called and feel a purpose and feel ignited and feel as though they're meant for something more, but dampening themselves and not allowing that light to shine, that is fucking scary. And that is not what we're here for. We are here to rise and show this new paradigm what is possible and be leaders, to be leaders in this new paradigm. And if you feel that that is deeply true and resonant for you, then I encourage you to fill out the application. And I am so excited to connect with you on a call. You can imagine, I love getting on calls about Embody. I love hearing about where you are. I love holding the space for your transformation and really getting into what's possible and helping you anchor into your why. I love it. The call alone will be transformational. I can promise you that. All right, love. I'm so happy you were here. I would love to know if you got any aha moments, what you related to. So feel free to send me an email or a DM on Instagram. I want to hear from you. So much love. And I really hope you're listening to that call. Cheering you on, love. Bye.